Okay, sorry for the discontinue. Sorry for the disconnection. Some the internet issues are there. Yes, please check. My voice is audible.
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wait, I will share my screen. Now the screen is also visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Shall I start? Okay. Only 27 participants are there. Okay. As they come, they will join auto. Is the auto admit I have given? Okay. So these are the 7 basic concepts, such as one is controlling force, sensitiveness of governor, hunting, isochronism, stability, effort of governor, and power of the governor. So first one you can see the controlling force. So what is controlling force means? As you know that when the governor shaft rotates, the governor bus moves radially outward. At the same time, when the governor bus moves radially outward, what type of force is generated by the governor ball is that is a centrifugal force, a force which acts radially outward. Okay, a force which acts radially outward when the governor shaft rotates. That force is called a centrifugal force. The centrifugal force is generated, then I want to make it stabilize. The equal force which acts radially inward to the governor shaft, towards the governor shaft axis. That force, the force which acts radially inward, that force is called as a controlling force. See that when the balls of a governor rotate in the circular path, the centrifugal force on each ball tends to move it radially outwards. You can see that in the figure number A. In the figure A, I consider only a governor ball here. Okay, the mass of the governor ball is M. The radius of rotation from the axis of the governor shaft is R. Once the governor shaft rotates, the governor ball also rotates radially outward. The force is generated radially outward. That force is called as a centrifugal force. Its magnitude is mr omega square. At the same time, another force is acts radially inward towards the axis of the governor shaft. That force is called as the radially inward force which acts to make it equilibrium the force acting on the governor ball. That force is called the centrifugal force. Now this is resisted by an equal and opposite force acting radially inwards and is known as a controlling force. Okay, why do you want this controlling force means? You want to make it a stabilized. You want to make it under equilibrium condition. One is an external force acting radially outward. I want to make it a radially inward force, another force, a resistive force acting on the governor ball. Then only the governor ball is stable to rotate in the corresponding radius of rotation. Otherwise, it continuously moves here. Okay, that is called as that force is called the controlling force. Now, then you go for plotted graph. First, you go for x-axis is the independent variable. What is the independent variable is? Radius of rotation is the independent variable. And y-axis is the first we consider as a centrifugal force. What is the magnitude of centrifugal force is mr omega square. Then you go for draw a curve. See that for a different radius of rotation and for different angular speed, you can get the different centrifugal force here. F at the equilibrium speed, if you increase the speed, F1 will get M1 R1. Sorry, M is a constant. Mass of the governor ball is constant. That will not change it. Only R1 and omega 1 will change us. As the speed increases, R1 is increases from R to R1. Omega increases from omega to omega 1. See that first equilibrium speed, OC line, the dashed line. Okay, that is F is equal to mr omega square. As the omega increases from omega to omega 1, R is increases to R to R1. Then you can see the OC1 curve. Sorry, OC1 line. At the same time, when decreasing the speed from equilibrium position, then the shaft rotates here omega 2, that omega 2 is less than the omega. Then what happens? R2 is the radius of rotation is decreases from R to R2, from R to R2, then omega is decreased from omega to omega 2. right? Then what will be the centrifugal force generated here? F2. This is second position. M R2 omega square. Then if you draw the force, centrifugal force versus radius of rotation, you get the OC2 line. These are the straight lines, right? Then at the same time, then you go for draw a controlling force. Controlling force curve is nothing but what? Its magnitude is same. It is equal to centrifugal force mr omega square. But act in what direction? Opposite direction. Act in opposite direction. Now we'll consider a three equilibrium position here. One is at the middle, it is R. Second one is R2, left side. And the R2 is less than R. Then I can see that R1 is greater than R in the right side. These three are equilibrium position. At the middle, it is R. As the speed increases, R is increases to R1. Okay, from equilibrium position. Then, if from the equilibrium position, if we decrease the speed, then R is decreases to R2. These are three equilibrium positions. Then, if you draw a vertical line, now where they intersect here, from the equilibrium position here, R is intersect at this FOC line, that is P. Then R1, if you go for vertically upward, that intersect the OC1, that is P1. Then R2, from the R2, what draw a vertical line, that intersect the OC2 line, that is P2. Then if you go for join P1, P and P2 and extend that line, this is not a linear curve. This is this is not a linear, this is not a straight line. This is a curve P1, P, P2 and again extend it. That is called as AB. AB is a curve. That AB shows what? Controlling force. See that M is equal to constant. Omega is also considered constant. Only R is the variable. R is the variable. R is changes from R2, R1 or R2, R2. Okay. Now, from this, what we can expect here? What are the informations you'll get here? Again, we'll go for extend that one in the next slide. See that here. The same graph only it is. Same graph only it is. I'll consider the equilibrium position of the R, that is OC line, that is the centrifugal force mr omega square. Okay. Now consider this is the equilibrium position R. At R is the radius of rotation is R. From the R, if you draw a vertical line, you'll get a point P. Right? As you know that already we have a AB line, right? AB line is a controlling force curve will get in the during the equilibrium position. That is R2, R and R1. Now, if you consider R2 here, equilibrium second equilibrium position, R2 is less than R. Then if you draw a vertical line that touches the AB curve and also that touches the OC line. That touches the OC line. 1 minute. Yeah, now first we'll consider this is the equilibrium position R. Now consider one more equilibrium position. Now this is R2. R2. Now from this you draw a vertical line. You draw a vertical line that touches where? That touches the OC line. That point you got as a, that is a 1 point. Another one that touches the AB curve, that is this point. Then if you draw a slope of that curve and the slope of the straight line. Okay. Now see that the centrifugal force, this is F, is greater than Fr, right? You can see that centrifugal force is greater than a controlling force. The centrifugal force is greater than controlling force at this point. Yes, any doubt? Yes, my voice is audible.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yeah, thank you. Now the centrifugal force is greater than the controlling force here, right? Now if you go for a draw a slope of this, the slope of this here df by dr, and this one is another, this is here if you go for this one, this portion, centrifugal force is greater than controlling force. If you go for draw the slope of here, df by dr will get, Another slope here, dfr by dr. Now which slope is more? See that here you can see the two slopes here. Now which slope is more? Yes, can you tell me anyone? Yes, are you getting my point here? Or if you go for take instead of R here, this is R2. Similarly, go for another equilibrium position. This is R1. This is R1. Now R1 is greater than R2. Sorry, R1 is greater than R. Then if you draw a vertical line from this, if you draw a vertical line from this, now that intersect the OC, that point you'll get, that is what is the, from this vertical line, this is centrifugal force. Again, if you extend that line, that touches the AB line. That point is called as a, that point is called as a, that you can measure here, that we call as a controlling force F suffix R. Now here in this curve, we can see that in this portion, you can see that F suffix R is greater than, means controlling force is greater than centrifugal force, right? Here you can see that controlling force in this portion, only this portion, you can see that F suffix R, controlling force is greater than centrifugal force. Now tell me that the slope dfr by dt with respect to time, dfr by, sorry, not respect to time, variable is not, make it correction, is the dfr by dr. Now see the dfr by dr, the slope is also greater than the controlling force slope is greater than the centrifugal force slope. Am I right? Is it right? Give me response. Yes, give me response. See the F suffix R, the controlling force, if you draw, this is at position, this is R. Now this one is R1. Now R1 is greater than R. This is the second equilibrium position. Then you draw a vertical line. Then once you draw a vertical line that touches the centrifugal force curve or centrifugal force line, there is a OC line that gives F. Again, you extend that line from the equilibrium position R1 that touches the AB line. That gives a F suffix R. Now F suffix R is greater than F. What is F suffix R? Nothing but controlling force is greater than centrifugal force. Once controlling force is greater than centrifugal force, what happens? The slope also, the slope of the controlling force dfr divided by dr, that is greater than df by dr. Then you can say the governor is stable, the stable operation. The slope of controlling force should be greater than the slope of centrifugal force. Then the governor is stable. Yes, are you getting my point? Yes, are you able to understand this? The centrifugal, the controlling force always greater than the centrifugal force. But the magnitude is same, but whatever the slope, it should be greater here. Then only the governor is stable. Then only it rotates and it makes to, okay, under controlling it is stable. Stable operation means under equilibrium condition, it will operate here. Suppose take another case here. Take another equilibrium position, that is R2. R2 is less than R1 or R2 is less than R. Then what happens again? If you draw a vertical line here that intersect both AB line, that point here, you get the FR. That's a controlling force. Again, if you extend that line that intersect the OC line, that you get F. Now you can see the F is greater than F suffix R. Or you can write here, instead of writing this like that, the controlling force, whatever the controlling force is there, is the less than a centrifugal force. Then if you go for draw the slope, if you draw the slope here, what do you get here? dfr divided by dr is less than df by dr. Then the governor ball is unstable. Once it is unstable, it may be supply the more fuel, there is a fluctuation is also occurred in the engine speed. Okay, this is the importance for controlling force. Is any doubt? Is any doubt regarding this controlling force? The car also, when the governor is stable, when it's perform its operation correctly, or when it is not perform its operation not correctly, means improper performing its operation, these are the conditions. Suppose if you draw the controlling force and the centrifugal force versus R, both are straight line. Both are straight line, means at a first equilibrium position you get A, second equilibrium position you get B. Both are coincide here. What will get condition here? D by dr of controlling force equal to D by dr of F. Both are equal. Once both are equal, then we can call it as is a isochronous. Isochronous, that will tell next one, means the never the slope should not never equal, means it is a infinity sensitive we called as. Okay, that will explain in the next another terminologies is there. See that what is the controlling force is applied by the weight of the rotating mass in watt governor. Okay, so controlling forces. Yeah, if you have a three different types of governor, you can see already study here. One is watt governor, second one is Porter governor, third one is Horton governor. So in watt governor, which is the controlling force is generated here, the controlling force is generated by only the governor, mass of the governor ball or weight of the governor balls. Then comes to Porter governor, the controlling force is generated here. The controlling force is generated in Porter governor is both the mass of the governor balls and the mass of the sleeve, right? Then third one, if you take a Horton governor, how do you get the controlling force here? The controlling force is generated by the weight of the governor balls and what about the compression of the spring? That also is generated. The controlling force generated by the weight of the governor ball and the spring. That is a statement what you can see here. In here, the controlling force is supplied by the weight of the rotating mass in watt governor, the weight of mass and that of sleeve in Porter governor, and by the compressive spring in the case of Horton governor. No, mass also not comes here. Mass of the governor ball not importance here. Only the compressive spring that will generate the controlling force. This is the first important definition. Then move on to second one, sensitiveness of governor. How much is sensitive? How much it give a response, a quick response. That shows the sensitiveness. See that any measuring instrument you can give a small variation in the input. That instrument has to give the response to the variation, right? That gives a sensitiveness. Here sensitiveness of governor is nothing but a governor is said to be sensitive when it readily responds to a small changes. Remember this word, readily responds to a small change of speed. Small change of speed. Then it got as a, if any small changes in the speed means if it is the throttle valve open and closed means is that governor is high sensitive. Okay. For example, let called as n, the speed of the governor shaft axis n1. There's a minimum speed corresponding to full load condition, means full load condition. Then what is this? Once it is full load condition, the governor shaft rotates is very less only, right? If the consider let n2 is nothing but maximum speed condition, maximum speed corresponding to no load condition, means it is no load condition means what happens? Governor shaft rotates high speed. Then what will be the sensitiveness? Remember this formula. Sensitiveness is nothing but is the ratio of a mean speed to the range of speed. What is the mean speed here? N1 plus N2 divided by 2. The mean of these two different speed, maximum and minimum divided by 2, that gives the mean speed. What is the range of speed? The difference of these two. Here see that N2 is greater than N1. That is the maximum speed is the N2, minimum speed is N1. N2 is greater than N1. What will be the range of speed is N2 minus N1. Now rearrange the term. Now we'll get sensitiveness of a governor is, it's a ratio of mean speed to the range of speed. Mean speed nothing but n1 plus n2 or n2 plus n1 divided by 2. Range of speed is nothing but n2 minus n1. If it is say the governor is too sensitive, means very small changes in the speed of the governor shaft. There are small changes in the load, automatically speed also changes. Once the speed changes means the governor shaft is a high sensitiveness it is. Next one is hunting. So what do you mean by hunting means, now see the graph here, speed versus time. What is a continuous, a dashed line is there, dashed thick line, that is called as the, I want to maintain the speed of the engine here, the constant speed, a mean speed it is, the continuous thick line is there, no? That is a mean, I want to maintain that. But each time what happens when the governor, the load acting on the engine is less means the speed increases, the engine speed increases. Once engine speed increases, what happens? The governor shaft rotates, the crankshaft rotates high, then the governor shaft also rotates high. Now what happens? It moves radially outward. Once it moves radially outward, the sleeve moves upward, then it will cut off the throttle valve. Once it cut off the throttle valve, what happens? The speed is, the power produced by the speed is, the engine is less, then speed is less. Once speed is less, now you can speed will get here. When there is no load condition, the speed is more. When once the no load condition, I want to maintain this mean speed. Then what happens? It will cut off the fuel supply. Once it is cut off the fuel supply, what happens? The speed of the engine is less. Once speed of the engine is less, the governor shaft also rotates less. That is another speed here. Again, it is continuously is occurred here. The process is called as hunting. Means hunting is nothing but in order to maintain this mean speed. Mean speed will not get within the specified limit only will maintain the speed. This is the what within the specified limit. This process is called as a hunting. Hunting is nothing but the speed subsequently rises and becomes more than the average, with the result that the sleeve again falls to reduce the fuel supply. This process continues and is known as hunting. Okay. Next, another one is isochronism. Already we discussed about this isochronism. When controlling force is equal to centrifugal force, you'll get a what type of curve we'll get? We will get both a straight line. How do you get the straight line? Now, what will be the range of speed is 0. In the go for sensitiveness of governor, is the ratio of mean speed to the range of speed. The range of speed is 0. Once the range of speed is 0, anything divided by 0, you'll get infinity. Means it become a high sensitive, infinitely sensitive governor. A governor with a range of speed is 0 is known as isochronism. Okay. Once if it is isochronism, it reaches means what will be the sensitiveness of governor is infinity, such as the governor is infinitely sensitive. This means what it means? This means that all position of the sleeve or the balls in the governor has the same speed. If it increases, the radius of rotation increases, but the governor rotates in the same speed only. Means there is no movement of the sleeve. If whether the load is high, where load is low, the speed of the governor shaft will not varies here. That is the indication. This means that for all position of the sleeve, all the balls of the governor as will get a same speed. Means the governor will not work properly. Any change of speed results and moving the balls and sleeve to their extreme position. Okay, this should not occur in the governor. Isochronism should not occur in the governor. Next, stability. When you say the stability of the governor means it has to do its work correctly. The governor has to work correctly means if the speed increases, the ball moves radially outward. Then if the speed is decreases, the ball moves radially inward. At the same time, what happens? If the ball moves, if the speed of the governor shaft increases, the governor ball moves radially outward, then sleeve moves upward. Then it is connected to throttle valve, then throttle valve closes. At the same time, when the governor shaft rotates at less speed means the governor ball moves radially inward, then sleeve moves downward, then it will open the throttle valve, then some amount of fuel supplies to the engine is more. Then it orders it works properly. The governor works properly. Then it becomes stability. And governor is said to be stable if it brings the speed of the engine to the required value and there is not much hunting. Okay, the masses occupy a definite position for each speed of the engine within the working range. Again, see the stability and sensitivity both are two opposite characters. If sensitivity is high means stability is less. If stability is high means sensitivity is less. These are inversely proportional. There are opposite characteristics here. Then sixth one is effort of governor. Effort of governor means when the sleeve moves up and down. When the sleeve moves up and down means the displacement of the sleeve takes place and mass of the sleeve is there. Then you go for the what is the work done by the object, what done by the sleeve. What done is nothing but force into displacement. What is the force acting on the sleeve means mass into acceleration due to gravity, and the moment of the sleeve means displacement means force of the sleeve under displacement of the sleeve. Then you can say that work done means that is called as a effort. The effort of the governor is the mean force acting on the sleeve to rise or lower it for a given change of speed. How much force is required to move the sleeve upward or move the sleeve downward? How much force is required? That is called as a effort. Okay, once you give effort, then later next one is power of the governor. How do you get the power? Power is going to work done by time. What is the work done? When the sleeve moves up and down, upward and downward, there is a change in position takes place, the displacement is there. At the same time, the forces acting on the sleeve, that is effort, force into displacement, you get a work done. Work done divided by time, that gives a power of the governor. Right? See that the power of the governor is nothing but effort into displacement of the sleeve. That gives in terms of work done it is. With respect to time, then only gives power. If you take power expression here, it is in joule, then it is this is a formula is right. Or with respect to time, we will take here, then you get the unit of the power is watt. The power of the governor is the work done at the sleeve for a given percentage of change of speed. That is, it is a product of the effort and displacement of the sleeve. Okay, these are the 7 important definition you should remember. One is controlling force, second one is sensitivity, third one is hunting, and fourth one is isochronism, and the fifth one is effort of the governor, and sixth one is power of the governor, and last one is stability of the governor. These are 7 basic concepts or definition you should remember. And next class we'll move on to the Porter governor, and we have a small derivation on that Porter governor. And after once you complete the equilibrium speed of the Porter governor, then we'll go for a solve some problems on this. Okay. Yes. Yes, if you have any doubt, you can ask me that. Or else I will end this meeting. Already is 11 o'clock. Okay. Now I will end this meeting. If you have doubts, you put a question to my number. Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching or attending this meeting. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.